name is Bob Catalini. I'm the manager of Holy Redeemer Hospital's Health and Fitness Center. I'm here today to kind of give you some exercises for lower back, which is what we're going to focus on today. However, before we start, I'd like to just mention a few things. One is, if you're in any acute pain, meaning if you're currently in pain with your back, you really shouldn't be doing these exercises. You should be cleared by your physician in order to do these exercises. Also, if you have any pre-existing conditions, you should be cleared by your physician or a physical therapist. At the end, I'll also mention about our sports medicine program and our outpatient physical therapy so that you'll be able to get that type of help should you need it. Okay, so to begin with, first off, if you're, as I mentioned, in any acute pain, lower back, sometimes every one of us, I think the statistics show that about 80% of Americans experience back pain at some point in their lives. Because of that, we're just going to go over some simple back exercises looking at both strengthening, flexibility, and muscular endurance. So we'll look at those in order to get you physically fit and help your back. So if you're not in acute pain currently and you'd like to get started with us, these are some things you need to do. First off, get a comfortable chair, something at home similar to this. When I say comfortable, it shouldn't be like an easy chair. The problem with that is that you sink into the chair. When you sink into the chair, it's very difficult to get out of. So what you'd want is something a little bit more sturdy, maybe a kitchen chair or a dining chair, and that would work. So first you want to sit down, and then you don't want to do this first thing in the morning. You want to do this after you're awake. You've done some activities of daily living, some things around the house, maybe some shopping, walking around, so that you're not as stiff and you're basically more warmed up is really what we're looking at. So all your activities of daily living serve as your warm-up. So the first thing you're going to do, sitting in your chair, you're going to go and reach down to stretch your lower back. And by stretching, we're going to hold this for 15 seconds. And you're just going to lower your head. You notice that my back is round here, and you're just stretching your lower back. And you're doing that for 15 seconds. Now you come up slowly and return and keep the arch in your back and then repeat it. You can repeat it several times, anywhere from 3 to 5 times, holding each for 15 seconds. And you can do it multiple times. I mean, you can do it more than 5 if you like, but for the most part, it's a flexibility move, so it's really there to help you stretch and basically feel better so that as you go through your day and range of motion, you're actually able to do that much easier without pain. Only take it to the point where you would have any pain at all. If you have pain, you want to stop. So anywhere in the middle of this, if you have a pain doing a certain exercise, stretching, flexibility, strength, or endurance, you'd want to stop. And that's an indicator, so your body's trying to help. The next thing is hamstring. So you just put your legs straight, still sitting in the chair. You're just going to reach down towards that leg. And you're going to hold that for 15 seconds as a static stretch, not bouncing. So in other words, I'm not trying to rubber band bounce, which makes the muscles tighten. You're going to do this for 15 seconds, hold it, and then you're going to switch and do the other side. And again, you can repeat it several times. So you can do this 3 to 5 times, 15 seconds each, and that's your hamstrings. The next thing, you stand up and you can stretch your quadriceps. Now, in stretching your quadriceps, you'd hold onto the chair or a counter, grab your thigh, and you're pulling back. And if I were to do this so that you can see me a little bit better, I'm going to take the leg and actually pull back. So it's not so much just pulling this way, but actually back so that I'm getting the stretch in this area here. So you'll feel that in your quadricep. And same on the other side. All right, so same thing on the other side, stretching that muscle. If you cannot grab your leg, you can use a belt or you can use a towel to help assist you. So you just kind of put the belt around your ankle and then just pull up, and you're able to do it that way. All right, so that method would also work. Next, we're going to go to some strengthening exercises, some things you would be able to do. We're going to move the chair just out of the way a little bit. You can lie down onto a fairly hard surface. You don't want to do this on the bed because the bed is too soft. I prefer that you do something like a carpeted area, or if you have a yoga mat, you can lie on the yoga mat. So for this, we're going to lie down. Your knees are bent and your head's back. You're going to do something called the pelvic tilt. You're just going to tilt so that you're pushing your stomach down and squeezing your lower back into the ground, and then back down, and then squeeze, and then back down. Squeeze and back down. And you can do this anywhere from, again, 10 to 15 times. Next would be a strengthening exercise. Something you could do, your knees are bent, hands are down, you're going to raise up and come down. Up and then back down. For this, you're using your muscles of your lower back to help actually bridge you and bring you up into that position so that you're strengthening the lower back. If you have a therapy ball, you can use the therapy ball in order to do that. So take the ball, put your feet on top, just sort of rest it so it's on your ankles and back behind your calves. Hold on to the floor to keep yourself from rolling off, and you pick yourself up and back down. So this is a similar bridge to doing it this way. The only difference is that the ball has you so that you have to balance yourself. So by balancing, it makes it a little bit more difficult, and sometimes a little bit higher depending on the size of the ball that you have, anywhere from 55 to 65 centimeter ball. So another exercise which is good for the lower back, again, this is more or less like a therapeutic exercise. You're going to get down on all fours, and basically, so you're on your knees, on your hands, and what you're going to do is you're going to arch your back like a cat, and then you're going to go down so that you're accentuating the curve of your back. And you're going to do this for a series of repetitions. 2, 3, 4. So each one is not really held, it's more or less a repetitive motion. So you're doing it for repetition, from cat to cow, basically, changing just like a cat would from an arch position, or a Halloween cat back down to arch position. The next, you're going to get into this position, and if you were lying down, you're going to come up onto your elbows. And this is a cobra type position for the lower back. My legs are just resting on the ground. I'm holding the tension in my lower back just like this. 10-15 seconds, go back down, come back up. If you really want to go, you can kind of go up higher this way by making it harder. So those are strengthening exercises. Sometimes people do some stretching when you're lying down as well. That you can do in this way. So you take the leg, pull, hold that for 15 seconds, and release. Notice that I'm not pulling on my knee this way. I sort of put my hands underneath. Then this way you're not putting pressure on the knee joint. My hands are underneath, and I'm just pulling in. And I'm doing one leg at a time. And then you could actually do both legs. 15-second hold and down. That would be a stretching flexibility move for your lower back. One leg at a time, and then unilateral, and then bilateral, doing both sides, and both legs together. Next, stand up. Have yourself utilize the chair, coming behind it. Put one leg out, straight. Notice the leg straight, there's no bend. Straight leg, forward leg, slight bend. You'll feel a pull in the back of your leg, your calf muscle, your Achilles tendon, and you'll feel that stretch. Hold that for 15 seconds. Repeat on the other side. And release. Okay. So there you have it, some basic flexibility and strengthening exercises for your lower back. In adding endurance for your lower back, one of the best exercises, which I see a lot of people do in the current COVID-19 situation, a lot of people are out walking. Walking is a good exercise because it does utilize the muscles of the spinal erectors. Every time you take a step, if you put your hands back there, you can feel one side contract and then the other each step that you take. That actually helps to increase blood flow to the area and increases your endurance of those muscles. The more repetitions you do with that, the more you increase your endurance of those muscles. Well, thanks for joining us today. During this situation, Holy Redeemer Hospital is offering through our Facebook page, it's Holy Redeemer Health and Fitness Center on the Facebook page. Please join us. And every day we have different classes if you come and like us. So most days 10 a.m., 10:30 on Fridays. In addition to that, we have outpatient physical therapy for everything from pediatrics to sports medicine or outpatient physical therapy. So if you have any problems with your lower back or you need to see a physician and you want to come and be evaluated, you can also come directly to us or call for that. If you go to our Facebook page, Holy Redeemer Health and Fitness Center, you'll be able to get the number or information from that page. Thanks very much. Have a great day.